Welcome, friends. It is KF Story Time with Miss Dodie again. I'm so glad you have joined today. Hi, flannel friends. I'm glad you're back. And I see that Brother Puppet decided to come again, and he brought a friend. He brought Sister Frog, and I'm so glad he did. You know, we learned that St. Francis loved God's creatures, all of God's creatures, all the great ones and the small ones. He just loved them all. And actually, Brother Puppet told me when he came in this morning that he really wanted to be in the Parade of Saints and he'd like to be St. Francis. So, yeah, and he wanted to know if Sister Frog could come along too. And I said, absolutely. So today I'm going to read you some more of the songs that St. Francis sang. He did. He sang and preached and talked wherever he went, every single day. And the name of this book is The Song of Francis and the Animals by Pat Mora, and the illustrator was Dave Frampton. Listen carefully. Actually, as I read the story, I want you to see if you can find a great creature, a small creature, a scary creature, maybe some talking creatures. See what you can find. The Song of Francis and the Animals. I see a picture here of St. Francis, and looks like two animals are following him, maybe a pheasant and a duck. Do you see all the animals in the wood carving around the gate? And this might be Assisi, the village that St. Francis lived in. "Go play, my sisters, go play," said Francis. He shooed away the animals that followed him, but the pheasant just peeked up and walked on proudly, carrying the hem of his brown robe in her beak. "Baa," sang the lamb. "Shoo, go play," said Francis. But the little lamb just grinned and trotted happily behind the man who preached to people and dogs and flowers and fish and frogs. Can you find the frogs in this picture? Birds. I spy a mouse. And fish. Can you find the rabbit? "Where go you, brown brother? Where go you?" Francis asked the weary worm, creeping up the hot rocky path. Francis scooped the tired worm and carried the curled worm gently in his palm, whispered a soft song, and placed the worm on a shady patch of grass. The worm slithered and slid into the cool greenness. Do you see the worm? "Need a place to rest, my sisters?" Francis called to the birds flying and fluttering round and round him. His hands curved into nests, and a lark rested on his head. Robins muzzled his dark beard. Wrens, crows, and magpies landed on his arms, twittering, cawing, whistling, as if St. Francis were a safe and shady tree. "Let's sing, my brother," a cicada called to Francis from a fig tree. "Cantiamo!" The whirring rhythms of Francis and the cicada spun around the tree, and into the fruit sweetened the greenness, fattened the figs in soft purple globes. Come, let's make a manger, said Francis to his friends. On a cold December night in a hillside hermit's cave above the village of Greccio, they dressed as Mary, Joseph, and the quiet shepherds. The ox and the donkey stood still as statues for hours to help Francis. They warmed the sleepy baby with their steamy breaths. Even the moon and stars hummed. The lambs caroled their lullaby. Ba, ba. Why are you frightened, my brothers? Whispered Francis to the people at Gubbio. The wolf, they whispered. Il lupo. They shivered at his hungry teeth and red, growling, prowling eyes. The wolf saw Francis and growled, "Grrr." The wolf opened his mouth as wide as a cave and rushed toward St. Francis. Come, let me pet you, my brother, said Francis, blessing the wolf. Mouth open, teeth shining, the wolf's paws suddenly dug into the road, and the red-eye wolf stopped. He shuffled to Francis and placed his paw on Francis's hand. Francis patted the wolf, rubbed his hard jaw, and the wolf patted Francis with his tired paw. Wake me soon, brother falcon, wake me soon. Ah, yawned Francis as he curled up for a nap. The falcon, like a devoted butler, watched over Francis. He watched Francis breathing and dreaming. When Francis was rested, the falcon opened his beak wide and called, "Kek, kek, 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 kek." Let's sing together, my sister, sang Francis to the nightingale. Cantiamo. As the sun set, Francis and the nightingale sang a duet in their brown robes. Their voices twirled and whirled over the rooftops and over the hills and over the world like ribbons in the wind. I sing to you, brother sun. I sing to you, sister moon. Ti canto, sang Francis, resting on a warm afternoon under a leafy tree. A hen clacked, cluck, 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 and her chicks scurried through the swaying swirls of poppies and buttercups. They nestled around their brother, singing, singing, with people and dogs, and flowers, and fish, and frogs. Can you name something small that Francis sang to in the story? Did you see something small? Maybe a worm? Maybe a cicada? Did you see something really great? The sun is great. The moon is great. Yeah, hey, that was a great nativity scene that the people put on, wasn't it? Did you see anything scary? I did. The wolf. Did you see anything that would fly? Ah, I did. There were a lot of things that were flying. There was the nightingale, a small nightingale, but there was also a falcon, a great big falcon. Well, all of our friends here have decided that they would like to be part of the parade. So let's put them in costumes. Last week, this little man was a St. Francis. Let's see. Would you like to be St. Peter? He has a key The key to the gates of heaven. Who would like to be, would you like to be Saint Clare of Assisi? Did you know that Saint Clare was actually a friend of Saint Francis's long time ago? And she would often sing with him. And she loved to help those who were poor the way Saint Francis liked to help everybody. And she became a sister. And what should we have you be? I know what you can be. I had one of my friends dress up like this one year. This is Saint Teresa of Calcutta. She liked to help those who were poor too. They're getting ready for the parade of saints. Now, I have my friend here. But before I talk to you about my friend here, have you ever tried singing to something in one of God's creatures? Maybe you'd like to sing to the squirrels. I think I'm going to do that when I'm going to go home and tell the squirrels about God's love. I hope you liked my book today. I liked it a lot. What, Froggy? What did you say? Froggy told me that Brother Puppet wants to be St. Francis for the parade. That's wonderful, and that he might even sing a song for us, one of St. Francis's songs. I know he's shy, but I hope he will sing for us one of St. Francis's songs. So bye, boys and girls. Can you wave, Froggy? Yep. Bye. Oh, we need to say goodbye. Would you help me say goodbye to my friends? It's time to go. Go in peace, my friends. See you next week.